Today is June 5th, 2023. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, just three things on the program today. First off, for the Joe Biden people, it's payback time. It's retribution, or it's just that hammer that's planning to crush you. And we have seen some heavy-handed actions by the Biden administration, especially regarding pro-life activists. We remember now Mark Houck, the Pennsylvania pro-life activist who was arrested back in, I believe, September of 2022. 20 to 30 FBI agents raided his house at 7 o'clock in the morning, terrorizing his wife and 7 children. But in January or February of this year, he did have his trial, and the jury acquitted him in just 1 hour. So, like I said, these are phony, trumped-up charges, primarily over violating the FACE Act. And back in 2022, 22 pro-life activists were arrested, and all of them were charged in violating the FACE Act. So we'll see how the other 21 defendants deal with their trials. But in light of what happened with the Mark Houck trial, well, maybe the Justice Department is going to be thinking twice about prosecuting these others, because most likely they will all be acquitted as well. So now comes a new punitive action. It was reported today that the Biden administration is withholding healthcare funds to Texas and Oklahoma because these pro-life states protect the unborn. The Department of Health and Human Services has rescinded a $4.5 million grant to the state of Oklahoma that would have provided family planning services to low-income individuals. And the reason? Oklahoma protects unborn babies by banning elective abortions. And the state also denies taxpayer funding for abortions. According to the Biden people, if a state expects to receive Title X grant money, you have to promote or provide abortion. Now, Title X is the framework, the administrative operation that provides federal money for family planning agencies. Okay. Now, regarding the state of Texas, back in 2022, Texas wanted to expand Medicaid to new mothers to reduce maternal mortality and to expand health care to low-income families. But the Biden administration denied this request. And it is to be noted here that the state of Texas had just passed its controversial and explosive 6-week fetal heartbeat ban. And, the Biden administration had exploded, as did other pro-abortion activists. This was just a horrible thing to protect babies once a fetal heartbeat could be detected. Okay. This is from the Fox News website that I saw this morning. The American birth rate is plummeting, but not in all states. The U.S. birth rate is down sharply from just 15 years ago. And women report that economic and social obstacles are causing them to have fewer children. And these are 4 of the reasons that were listed in the article. Number 1, the inability to afford a home while repaying student college loans. 2, men lacking earning power compared to women. 3, women are better educated than men. We're seeing more women going to college and getting graduate degrees, and they're either delaying getting married, they're delaying having children, and that's a factor, obviously, in the lowering the birth rate. And number 4, the teen birth rate has dropped 78% since its peak in 1991 due to greater access to contraceptives. And I would add here, personal editorial comment here, that this is not in the article, that some of that reduction in the teen birth rate is due to pro-life laws, primarily parental consent and parental notification laws that were a great wake-up call for these teens to postpone or to abstain from engaging in risky premarital sex that obviously would have resulted in more pregnancies. Okay, there are problems with lower birth rates. And one of the main ones is that it jeopardizes pensions like Social Security because fewer people, are paying into the system because lower birth rate, fewer babies, fewer taxpayers paying into the system. It's a drain on the economy. The Biden administration is trying to encourage more births by proposing paid family leave, subsidized childcare, and federally funded preschool. However, this is me, on my soapbox again. We're always getting mixed messages from Joe Biden. He promotes abortion all the time. So, pushing and advancing an abortion agenda is not helping grow the birth rate. Okay. There also seems to be a correlation between liberal states who voted for Biden and conservative states that voted for Donald Trump. If you live in a state with a lower cost of living, if you attend religious services more frequently, you are more likely to live in a state with a higher birth rate than a liberal, pro-Biden state. Okay, last item. More GOP candidates are jumping into the presidential race this week. Today, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is jumping in. And on Wednesday, Vice President Mike Pence is going to throw his head in the ring. And later this week, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is going to do the same. And I would say here, I follow politics reasonably well. I'm not a junkie like some people, but I do follow politics. And I'll be honest with you, I never heard of Governor Doug Burgum. I've heard of Kristi Noem in South Dakota, but I never heard of the guy in North Dakota. And let's face it, his chances of getting the nomination are 0 and none. They really are. I'm not sure why he's going to waste a lot of money and time and energy campaigning. He's just not going to go anywhere. Now, Mike Pence, he's got name recognition. He was a vice president, a governor, a congressman. He's got a much, much better chance. I'm not saying he's got a great chance, but he's got a much better chance. And Chris Christie, the other two guys are solid pro-lifers. But Chris Christie, even though he's pro-life, he really does not have the strong pro-life credentials that the other guys do. And he doesn't have them compared to all the other Republican candidates who are currently running for the White House or for the nomination. So I'm not sure why Chris Christie is running either. I really don't know. But more names are in the race, and that does kind of complicate things. With that, I will let you go, and I will see you next time.